I love good music, especially main menu themes you can AFK at, and this game has one. So when you start the game, you're going to be able to pick a class, and I mean, that's not going to really affect like your story choices or anything. It's just going to be like what you want to start with, your armor, how you look, your stats, what you want them to be, starting items, stuff like that. So for like the character customization, I don't really ever do this because I just try and find the coolest armor in game and just wear it out all game, right? I never really look at my face. But I mean, I don't know, you could look a little weird, I guess, when you do the random stuff. You got your standard body shape, large, thin, buff, tattoos, skin color, just like at least the basics, I guess. Okay, so one of the most important questions I think you should have for a game like this is how cool is the armor, right? How cool are the weapons? So obviously I'm not going to show every single armor and weapon in the game, but I will show a couple that I thought were cool. And honestly, I felt like there was a fair amount of cool looking ones. And I don't even have all the armors, but honestly I feel like that just shows how much is in the game to find. And they have these cool little shaders in the game, which can change the tint of your armor. And some more DLC, but it seems like you can find some pretty cool ones just in the game. So this game does have the standard rest spots, and at these, they're called vestiges. They're gonna let you rest, and they're gonna let you fast travel from vestige to vestige. And the really cool thing about the fast traveling in this one is you can plant these seedlings. And the way seedlings work is if you have the item, they're going to be like these little seeds you can purchase from certain vendors or just get during co-op and boss fights and stuff, right? But if you have one, you find this flower bed on the floor and you can shine your lamp on it, which is an item you'll have from the beginning of the game. You shine your lamp on it and you can actually plant a seedling here and it'll make a temporary vestige. And these are cool because you can literally do anything a regular vestige can. It's just that after you plant another one somewhere else, the previous one will go away, but it's still really cool. And then to upgrade your character, you're going to just also do that at a vestige. And if you have enough souls to do it, you just pick a stat and then just confirm it basically. And yeah, it tells you what gets improved when you put a point in it before you confirm it. So you know what you're getting when you do it. And honestly, yeah, it's like, it's standard stuff, but it's perfect. Like, I don't need anything new with this. Another great thing all games like this should have is a blacksmith, which you will have to find her to be able to upgrade your stuff. But the important thing is you can upgrade your stuff. So you can upgrade your weapons, you can upgrade your shields, your catalyst for like casters. But another thing this game has, which honestly I fell in love with, is socketing. You can socket weapons and shields to have these runes. For example, this one can get increased vigor, which is like XP in this game, at the cost of damage, or increased damage if you're dual wielding, or increased poison buildup if you're running a poison build. In this shield, for instance, item discovery rate for farming, increased stamina regen. Like, I thought the system was really well done. And yeah, you can get up to like 3 sockets. I just kept switching weapons, so I always wasted my mats. Something I always appreciate is boss weapons. This game does have them. They're called remembrances. You get a remembrance after beating certain main bosses, and you can send them to this guy, and he will allow you to purchase their items. And they just cost Umbral Scouring, which are rare at first, but they actually are farmable. So you can get every remembrance you have, you can get their items in one playthrough. You won't have to do like multiple playthroughs or kill the same boss multiple times in multiple playthroughs. Like, as long as you farm the scourings, you can get everything you want. You can upgrade your healings so they heal more and you can hold more. So you can respec in this game, which is obviously something I appreciate. But like Elden Ring, it is going to require a rare item. And honestly, I love RPGs, and there's so much to try out in this game that it's a shame I can't just respec freely or at the cost of some souls or something. Like, I feel like requiring a rare item is kind of outdated, and honestly, I wish it would go away. But at least I can respec. So I really need to talk about this lamp already. This is like a unique mechanic for a Souls game, and basically the entire map can change based on this Umbral Realm. And so you see right here, there's a ton of water, and so you can actually hold square when the lamp's out, and you enter like a completely new realm, and it kind of changes the whole area. And there'll just be constant monsters just spawning, and you'll get more XP. Like, this seems like something that would be really hard to pull off, but the fact that it's in the game and it's a mechanic is like, it's just so cool. Like, another area, like, this is all water, but if I use my lamp to look, I can see that there is stuff to explore over there if I enter that Umbral Realm. So the Umbral Realm is a big part of the game, and just when you're using your lamp to try and see if there's shortcuts, if it's worth going into the Umbral Realm, you could get hit and go into the Umbral Realm by force, which is hilarious. Honestly, it took me by surprise the first few times it happened. It's like, really? So yeah, you gotta be careful where you shine that thing, because you never know what's gonna be staring at you. Also, I feel it is my duty to warn you guys that the longer you stay in the Umbral Realm, the more dangerous it gets. And you can see the white bar around the eyeball filling up. That means a red Reaper is gonna spawn, and you do not want to fight that guy. You can actually upgrade the lamp as well, which will give you dread resistance, which makes the Reaper take longer to spawn, which is cool. And it'll actually give you a socket, and sockets on the lamp are actually pretty useful. Like you can get like immunity after entering the Umbral Realm for like 8 whole seconds, or even more dread resistance, or like better healing, stuff like that. It's pretty useful. So with all those armor sets and weapons and spells and stuff that you gotta find, there's gonna be a ton of exploring to do in this game. You're gonna wanna find shortcuts to get back to your vestige faster, keys or key items in general to unlock gates and pull levers and drain water, and just like there's so much to do in this game. Like reaching the end of a scary sewer only to find a whole new area that you can explore. Which when I reached the bottom of the bottomless pit, or so I thought, I ended up finding another boss, which I should get into bosses. You can summon companions. There's a lot of NPCs in here. And so if you do their quest lines and progress them, they will sometimes be outside of boss rooms and you can summon them, which is cool. And some of them look cool, some of them are fun to fight. I mean, the gameplay in here feels great. Bosses can be dodged or parried. The iframes on dodges feel good. The parry feels good. And if you parry them, you can see like when you're locked onto them, you can see like a little stagger meter kind of building up. So if you like parrying, you're going to be able to stagger them more and get like those critical hits on them, like this one. But I mean, if you just like dodging and using iframes, I mean, they feel great in this game. And I appreciate that some bosses have unique things to help you with them. Like this guy, if you parry him off his horse, he's going to be off his horse and then he's going to be way less annoying. Or you can even use your lamp and you'll be able to see these little eyeballs, and if you use your lamp to shine a light on them, you can blow them up next to him and they will also knock him off his horse. So I really appreciate cool unique mechanics during a boss fight like that. For me, parrying is more of a challenge, and honestly, just getting those crit strikes in is just always going to feel rewarding, so I just love going for it all the time. And yes, bosses will have like second phases or even 2 health bars, cool moves, like there's a lot that I love about this game. Honestly, it's a contender for game of the year for me. So I did mention NPCs, and yeah, they will have a couple in this game, and they will ask you for help, and they will have quest lines. You'll get trophies for it, you'll get items for it, and you can mess them up and have to do a whole new playthrough. So just keep that in mind.
I won't have proof of my birthright. Line, find it. Come on, get to it.
The Lords of the Fallen does have a co-op mode, and honestly, it's actually pretty good. Like, you can just send invites through PSN if you want, or in-game through the multiplayer tab of the Vestige. And I like it because when you beat a boss with your friend, you don't get sent back to your world. You can just fight, like, all the bosses together. The biggest downside, though, was the person getting summoned does not get any of the story progress. They can't loot the chest with you and get like the special items you're finding or spells and stuff like that. The vestiges. So basically, when you decide to end a co-op session, they go back to where they started from, and like the progress ain't shared, which is kind of lame. Moving on, there's still a lot of cool things I appreciated though. For instance, if you see my souls at the top right, there's no fire in it. But if you do have enough souls to level, there will be a little flame in it, indicating you can go rest and level up. I really noticed and enjoyed the iframes you get when you're mounting and dismounting ladders. The temporary vestiges, I just like being able to make a base whenever I found a flower bed if I needed to. Also durability. There is no durability in this game, which I'm thankful for. That's such an outdated concept. Like, I don't like durability in games, especially games designed to be difficult. Like, why would I want to break my gear when I'm already having trouble with a boss and then repairing cost souls? Which I just lost all my souls. So yeah, I'm just glad this game don't have any durability. Although with that being said, downside, I felt like picking up your souls takes a bit too long. Like, I mean, I had times where like I'm picking them up and then I would just die, and then it's just like a waste of time running back. So yeah, I wish it was just instant, honestly. Like they could speed up the animation, which I mean they have in a patch, but I still would prefer it to just be instant. So yeah, the game is like near perfect. I got like an occasional frame drop sometimes, which it was never that bad, honestly. Never nothing to hinder my performance, or I was like, oh, I died because my frames dropped. Nothing like that. And stuff like that really don't bother me too much. Plus, I assume it'll get fixed in like performance updates later on through patches or something. So overall, I give the game a 9.5. I loved it. I hope this game continues to get updates or like an expansion or even a sequel, and I will buy it, and I will most likely love it again. And I hope a lot of people give this game a try because it was worth every penny.